Joe Biden's national security advisors have no imminent plans to present the president with an updated proposal in the Israel-Hamas war ceasefire negotiations, to senior administration officials told the latest indication that talks to end the conflict have seriously stalled. Some U.S. officials had indicated in recent weeks that a so-called bridging proposal was being finalized for Biden's approval before being shared with the other mediators involved in the ceasefire talks, such as Qatar and Egypt. However, according to these senior officials, the president's advisors first want to have confidence that Hamas would be willing to eventually get to a yes on such an updated agreement, and they do not believe that desire exists. Major sticking point in the negotiations has to do with the issue of the Palestinian prisoners who would be released in exchange for the hostages kidnapped by Hamas on October 7. Hamas recently demanded that life sentence prisoners be released in return for civilian hostages, a change from an earlier iteration of the talks, when the parties discussed such prisoners being released only in exchange for Israeli soldiers. Those officials said conversations are continuing, Kirby said. What's not clear to us, certainly in the wake of the execution of those 6 hostages, is whether we're going to be able to get there. What's not clear to us is whether Hamas will ever be able to come to the table in sincerity and sign on to something. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is the latest senior American official to travel to the region, returning to Egypt on Wednesday, but in an indication of how unlikely it appears that his trip will yield a major breakthrough on a ceasefire agreement. The trip will mark the first time since Hamas' October 7 attacks that he will visit the Middle East without going to Israel.